So really it's just, so the swing arm mount, obviously swing arm pivots there. Swing arm itself is absolutely fine. That's all solid. So really all of this is just really what supports the back of the frame and what would be sort of down there for the centre stand, I think, and the engine mount. So if I can give that a clean up and get some fresh weld in there, it's not really anything structural. You might think, well, the engine mount there on that side is structural, but we'll see when we get it apart. So obviously I'm not going to do anything dodgy. If it's too far gone, it's too far gone, so we shall see. So yeah, we're all good this side, absolutely fine, no issues. And it really does just look worse than it is. I think the main thing is there is a massive amount of bike here, and bear in mind I paid 250 quid for it. I could part this thing out so easily because there is so much good stuff. So that is what I will do. If I'm not able to save it, I will just part it out. I reckon I'll get my money back in about 10 minutes because I only paid 250 quid for it, plus all the engine and all the rest of the bike. It's a complete bike. I freed off every single bolt, pin, slider pin bolt, and bleed valve, bleed nipple, whatever, on all of these calipers. Some of them are stuck fast, but I've got everything moving. The one that was hardest to shift was this slider pin here because the bolt was just stuck fast. And even if you put these flats in the vise, that was just absolutely stuck solid. You couldn't move it. So I soaked it in vinegar for a week and just turn it with your fingers now. So this project is one of those slowly but surely projects. So we shall get there. And what I'm going to do now is just free off these float bowls because every one of those screws are stuck and they're kind of rounded and chowdered, quite a lot of them. So I'm just going to slot them and see if I can turn them with a flat blade screwdriver. So I'll give that a go. Right, this might be a little bit bull in a china shop, but good clean cut is what we need. Gone as carefully as I could there, I think. I don't think I've chopped into the float bowl. I mean, if that doesn't shift it, it wasn't going to shift anyway. So we'll see. Look at that. How to remove a stuck screw thread. There you go, did absolutely no damage to this whatsoever. Yeah, the only problem I've got with these two, of course, is the webbing on the float bowl there is going to get in the way, as is the drain screw. But if I go extremely carefully, there's no rush. Can just come down in between the two, hopefully. Well, I got the cut I was looking for and I didn't do any damage. You can see that natural slot in between the webbing and the drain screw was very fortunate. None of them are particularly tight, they're just chowdered. But you can get all these replacements very easily, they're just standard 1980s Japanese carburetor float bolt screws, pretty much. Yeah, you could almost reuse that, look. Just made a slotted screw. And the third one, of course, right there, all the more difficult because you've got this bracket in the way, so I could move that out the way. Let's just see if I've got any room to get in there without messing with it first. Let's see if this one's free. Yup. Again, you can see we just made a perfectly slotted screw there. Nice. Stinks, but yeah, nice. There's a little bit of discoloration in there, but nothing serious. You'd normally expect that to see completely gummed up, and looks alright. Let's take this float out and have a look, but it's looking alright so far. God, that was loose. Things like float valve needles you'd always replace anyway, because tiny little imperfections and wear, they're not going to function properly. But this looks like it's been cleaned. Oh Christ. I thought that sort of came off, but it slipped. There you go. Let's crack that off. There's nothing to see here really, it's just a jet. Pretty clear. You know what these smell like, don't you? Really stale, kind of like yucky. Ooh, that looks like it needs a bit of a, see, like a heart. I won't be able to show you on camera, but looks like it's got a half moon in there. There's some dirt in there. He says, putting it back in. But they're going to, yeah, all going to be properly cleaned anyway. Right, well, I'm going to wazzle this back together because the object of that exercise was purely to just have a quick look at the condition inside as I check my way over all of this bike. There you go. So I'm just gonna sit that back on, and actually I'll put the screws back in as I seem to have got them functioning in some way. Good grief, that wasn't even tight. Astonishing when I thought I couldn't get a turn on it with the screwdriver because it was so marred up. It's a little stiff up. Last one. Yay! That dispels the "there's always one" myth. And again, that is pretty whistly clean. That looks like that's been rebuilt quite recently, I think. So maybe the previous owner had managed to get some of the work done. Let's try to get that pin out. Oh, one's a bit stiff. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't think we're going to have any trouble with these carbs anyway, so I just wanted to look inside the float bowls, see what they look like, get them screws off. So I'm happy with that. Right. Well, actually I was looking at those brake calipers earlier and I didn't try and free up the pistons, just all the bolts really. So, but it's you know, it's a long job. It ain't gonna happen overnight. So. Right, well I know that wasn't a comprehensive look. Just a cursory look inside the float bowls doesn't really tell you anything, but given the fact that somebody has clearly been in there and done a little job on them, tells me that they're going to be okay. So we'll do a proper job on these as we get to them. Just tried to take this outer water pump cover off, because it is separate to the rear engine case. So you've got two large bolts there and 1, 2, 3 smaller bolts. So I took those all out and they all moved quite freely, which was good, but it didn't want to come off, it's stuck fast, so I'm not going to try and force it. You've only got a couple of tiny little pry points really. One just behind, no, not that little bolt there. So sorry, one just there, little pry point there, and one just around there. Just need to be really gentle with it so you don't mar up the soft aluminium. So yeah, I'll leave that in place, and I've also gone and undone all the remaining bolts, so that one, and then the small and large ones as you go around the case. One just there. It's just propped up on my troll hammer. And you can see 1, 2, 3 just down there, and a larger one. Very small one behind the starter. Back up, and I've also just loosened off the 2 starter mounting bolts. Like everything's all stuck solid, stuck fast. Right, it's like everything's been glued together. Just trying to feel whether there's any movement there. I'm not marring up any mating surfaces, so I'm not too worried if I have a little slip here. Wow, that's stuck fast. And you got to get this away to get that bolt out anyway, which is one of the case bolts. I don't know whether that would come out far enough to remove the case without, but I can see a tiny bit of movement there now. I'll just I don't care if I'm marring it up behind there, you can't see anything and I'm not doing any damage. Well, it's coming. That was about half that gap when I started, so it's getting there. See, look at that, it's wiggling good and proper now. So it's just that gear there engaging with the starter clutch. Yeah, the one on this side came out absolutely fine. That one's just totally chowed it up, so cut it through and I'll just bend them and lever them, so that should do the job. I'll just have to replace that bit. Didn't need to do that, did I? Because that bit isn't threaded. What a wally. Nothing to see here, that's all okay. just a very light tappity tap tap. So just wanted to look at oh actually, yeah, you can see them there. Yeah, the carbon brushes there are absolutely fine. I mean they're quite worn, but they're working well. So this will just all need just a bit of a clean. Bearings seem fine, all good. No problems there. Splines are good. Right, so this is all okay. Anyway, these bits will just need cleaning up and buffing up on the wheel, and take those two screws out, get all the innards out, and give that a clean and a paint. Same with the end. This will just need taking apart, and brushes on the end there are absolutely fine. So yeah, it's all good. So I'll get it all back together, and I will test it on the battery just to make sure it's turning over okay. So, but yeah, that should be all fine. Well, I am properly up to my eyeballs in bike parts now. So in the next episode, I am going to hum. I'm not going to hum. Well, I'm probably up to my eyeballs in bike parts now. So in the next episode, I am going to start making a thorough assessment of everything I've got, and then I can properly decide whether I'm going to fully restore this CX650, convert it into something else if that frame is just too far gone, or whether I just part it out. But either way, it's going to be fun. It's going to take some time. Don't know how long, but we'll see how it goes. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that little look around, and I'll see you on the next one.